That's a pretty good start. Let's go see about the monster trucks and see that we can get some to work. Now, admittedly, when I open the CRD monster trucks, there's like 1,000 something of them. So like, I get it being a little slow to load. That that's forgivable. All right, we got to go way down the list to find Taz again because we were gonna play as Taz. There it is. All right, let's see if it just drops in or if we crash out again. Oh, 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 it started like it was going to be okay. It did something. Is that Dorton Arena? I think it might be. Though back in my selections. It's sometimes a little hard for me to remember which ones I've downloaded. Thank you all for sticking with me through the technical difficulties. I am starting to get a feeling that maybe the mods are broken and I can't actually play the game. If that's the case, this stream's going to end pretty quick. And very disappointingly, for that matter. Hey, oh, oh, there we go. We got there. All right, rear steer works, front steer works. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Let's take this baby for a spin and see what happens. See how we get on here. Ah, now we're getting somewhere. I don't recall which end of this track is the starting line and which one's the finish line. Okay, so whatever happened, the crowd is a little messed up on this end. So that's not great. I want to say this was the starting line on this end. Bobby's usually here, Joey Nails. Hey, Joey Nails. Bobby's usually here. This is an off night, so he hasn't been in, but he's usually around. Yeah, this must be the starting line. I can see the cones for where I'm supposed to pull up here. Let's see if we can. Ooh, rough landing. Not. Well, you know what? It's a fine recovery though for a modern truck. Okay, it is like a funky ass Dorton. Is that the arena in the background there? I would assume as much. Wonder if I can get over there. I'm guessing I can't go over this thing. Well, apparently I can just go right through it. See if we can find a way in. I'm gonna crash the game going places I'm not supposed to go. Just barely got everything running and now I'm like going off the map. Oof, gotta be a bit more careful with that. That was a tough ridge. Didn't want to run into that quite that way. Alright, I guess we gotta go up and over this like slowly. That's what I wanted. The little launch. Nice. Okay, we're looking good now. I decided to throw this extra stream tonight because I'm I'm just frustrated and annoyed that I can't make it to the monster trucks on Friday. But I will be at We Love Wrestling in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Saturday. Going one-on-one with Kevon Lee, a battle of the big men. That should be a lot of fun. We are the only non-death match on the show, which might work in our favor, might not. Who knows? Those fans might be real annoyed that there's a non-deathmatch show. Hard to say. Oh, I got a flat tire. Well, that'll happen. There we go. Okay, good. I remembered the reset button. All right. I am going to take us now that we got everything functioning. We get us to one of the fun arenas so we can crank out some crazy stuff. Let's what do we think? We'll go to the All-Star Racing. That should pop up pretty quick. There's not a lot to load there. Oh yeah, it's cruising right along. And then let's see. I'll put it to the chat. Anyone have any particular favorite monster trucks they want to see? They want to see crank out here. Any trucks you'd love to see me take for a spin? It's old wrestling history in that building. One of the Mid-Atlantic's biggest buildings of the 70s and 80s. Yeah, man. There's such great overlap with monster trucks of that era and wrestling of that era that it all kept happening in the same sort of places. Um, so yeah, there's some crazy crossover for sure. Let's see. We can go with modern trucks. We can go with so we got modern. That's 2000s and later. We got slightly less modern. We'll call that mid to late 90s. And then we do have some 80s, early 90s. So whatever people want to see, I more than likely have something for it. What are we looking for? What are we thinking about? What's busting loose in house? I wonder what chassis they have. Okay, it's mostly all versions of busting loose. That makes sense. What's the weirdest one I have? Well, I think for that we got to go to the stage one and stage twos. And it would either be one of the trucks that runs dualies, like a Crimson Crusher, or like maybe one of the ones that runs a 72-inch tires, like the Duraliner Giant, maybe. Goliath has two engines. That one's a classic to be a little bit weird. Oh, let's see. Hero Robotics saying something in the Gary Porter line. Yeah, we'll go in the Porter in-house. Gary Porter famously drove the Carolina Crusher, who Hero Robotic got to see with me back in February in Springfield. So let's see. We can go with early or late Crusher 5, it looks like. There are some other Carolina Crushers in here, but these are the Gary Porter chassis specifically. Now, of course, I believe they have it on a Dan Patrick chassis. It's sort of it's really just a namesake truck at this point, which is totally okay. Yeah, naked. I actually in all the years of going to monster trucks, I hadn't, other than when American Guardian was first being built out this way. Oh, I didn't set up the controls on this yet. All right, we're gonna set up controls real quick. This will be fun. Everyone gets to see a little bit of behind the let's see, is it in options? Yeah. We can see a little behind the scenes stuff here. Let's see, we need vehicle specific. And it's the rear steering. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I don't want to toggle the rear steering. Rear steer. It's usually further down. yeah, independent rear steering left. So let's see. So I'm gonna want to go that one. Yeah, okay. Go here. Good. Apply. And then I'm gonna come here. Again, the epitome of exciting television. Detecting new binding. Come on, detect. Good. It got it. All right. Apply. Yeah, the so I'd never seen a naked monster truck, so to speak, in person anyway. Until all right. Well, let's just hit back and see if any of it took. Yeah, it looks like it took. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see. All right, we got left, we got right. There we go. That's what we're after. Until I was at the Franklin County Fair right before I left to wrestle in Japan, and the truck excavator, which is from New Hampshire, driven by Gage Bursey. Uh, that truck lost its body in the little fair show. I always love the little detail in the back. Have you driven over a Ford lately? It's written upside down. All right, let's take it. This is sort of the lineup for the Monster Jam World Finals racing. So they would come in here down Thunder Alley, which is a tough corner to make without overcorrecting. Come all the way down the end. You got to get on the brakes early to avoid that. Make that turn and send it. All right, let's see if this old truck can do a backflip. Ah, so it can. You know what? This truck ain't doing half bad. Considering, let's see, Crusher 5 would have been like 1994, so it was like a real early, maybe even as early as 92 or 93, really. But it was a real early tube frame truck. This would have been during the Penda Point series. You know, your four-wheel national jamborees. See, do the rims have lights in them? I don't think so. I think they're just reflective. Are they supposed to have lights in them? Yeah, I do think they're just reflecting. Uh-oh, 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 getting all squirrely. Ooh, and into the wall. That's not what you wanted. Ah, jeez. Gary Porter over on his lid. Gary Porter, famously known as the lone wolf of monster truck racing in his day, because he often traveled with no crew. It was just him. Roll up and do all the tiring and the cleaning and the repairs and everything and the driving, all on his own. I never got what the story was on that. If you know, if it was a decision he made in the name of like cost saving, or if he just didn't like traveling with people. All right, here we go. All right, pretty good. Ah, oversteer on the turn and almost into the post. That's not what you want. Uh-oh. Had to restart. They shut me off. Track officials had to pull the emergency ignition interrupter, the RII. Good recovery, though. Tires on this truck have crazy traction. There we go. It took a little work to get a donut going on. I had to be careful on that. It is a beautiful model of this truck, though. I mean, if you look up Carolina Crusher 5. It's a dead ringer. Like they nailed it. Mm. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, that's not what he was looking for. Old Gary having a rough run here. Oh yeah. I completely agree. The experience of driving the modded monster trucks in this game, for me anyway, even though there's I don't play active races on it, although I could. There is a community that does that, and there's Discord add-ons for a timer and everything. Even though I don't do that, I do find that driving these around uh, is more enjoyable than the actual monster truck games that have come out. Now it's a heavy lift on your gaming system, and there's a lot of like you got to know how to download mods properly and install them. But once you're past that, man, whoo, it is pretty sick. Yeah, yeah. There's an art to getting a donut going with a truck with good tire tread. You primarily use Beam to wreck things. If Instagram Reels is any indication, that's how most people use it. Hey, the Grizz crew rolling in. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out on a lovely Wednesday evening. Yeah, I thought this was early 90s. Would have been like the Penda Points series era, this truck. Yeah, nailed the backflip. And they cut my my ignition. All right, let's get back to the starting line and we'll swap out for another truck. Yeah, the car cannon. Man, there's some cool stuff in here that I never even play with. For me, it's a monster truck sim more than anything. All right, let's swap trucks and I'll go to the chat once again. What do we want to see? What monster truck do we want to see here? Let's see. Yeah, we do have a few others. We got some of the Vodders trucks, the PEIs, the Dabneys, the Kohlers. Yeah, there's a few that I never really mess with as much. Could attach the flail to the back. Yeah, I think you should try it. Doing good, Grizzly Kid. Doing good. I'm getting ready to go head out for a long weekend of travel to see an old pal of ours, Doctor Redacted. Blue Iron Warrior, if you have it. I'm assuming that's a CRD chassis more than likely. Let's find out. Let's see. Okay, so it could be. There's like a little subsection here. Yeah, the CRD, and then there's just numbers. So it's Iron Warrior we're looking for. Let's see. Okay, so it wasn't in those. So after the H's but before the J's. It looks like I've got Iron Outlaw but not Iron Warrior. Um, let's see. Any other trucks we might want to see? I know everybody's got favorites, and it's okay to call like you can shout out an obvious, a Gravedigger or a Bigfoot. I'm not going to be offended by that. It doesn't have to be. Don't feel like you have to pick an obscure truck. Or if there's like an era of trucks that you're particularly into, if they're the modern ones, if they're some of the older ones. Knucklehead. Oh, wow. Is that in here? Did I just scroll past that? Knucklehead is in fact in here. Who is Knucklehead? Why have I never heard of this truck? Well, we're going to break it out anyway. Why not? Why not? It's a great name. Fantastic name. Yeah, King Kong 3. We can break. There is also a an original, the old tube frame King Kong 3 I have as well. The one that was there was more of the on the tube frame thing. Oh, that's right. The Grizz crew was at the Creed show last night. You guys got to see I forgot the name of the band, but one of the openers did a Ozzy tribute. They played "Mama, I'm Coming Home." I've been seeing that floating around the internet today. It was one that had a semi body. Ah, yes, that was the one that's in the game there. That's the Lucas Oil stabilizer. Of course, famously, Big Pete would have been the one back in the day. All right, well, let's take this baby for a spin and see how we get on with the old World Finals racing course here. Oh, oh, oh! Just missed kissing the edge there. Oh, 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 oh! Whatever tire style he has, it has incredibly deep tread. No BKTs on this thing. Holy moly! What was Grizzly Kid? What was the name of that band that did that tribute? Because I've seen the clip a bunch, but I didn't recognize them. I'll take the other side. I haven't done the red lane. We've only come out of the blue lane here. Let's take a spin on the other side. See if maybe I do a mammoth. Okay. Yeah, I saw the cover. It was great. The lead guy there wailed it on the old the guitar solo, man. He nailed it. All right, here we go. Oh, swinging wide. Oh no. I would have lost it on that turn for sure. Wolfgang. Ah, yes, Wolfgang Puck's band. I've been to his restaurant. Well, I've been to one of his like Wolfgang Puck Expresses in an airport, I think. Even then, I don't necessarily know that I ate anything there. I think I've just seen them at airports. But I might be seeing one this weekend at the airports as I make my way out to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for We Love Wrestling, going one-on-one with Kevon Lee. Battle of the big men, as it were. Should be a really good time. Should be a heck of a show. I'm excited to see our old pal Dr. Redacted riding with him to the show, and he'll be in the main event in a barbed wire cage match, because of course he will. As soon as my match is done, I'm getting my gear and stuff right out of the locker room so no one bleeds on it. Deathmatch shows, you got to be careful. Locker rooms can get messy. All right, let's see if we can get a bit of like a moonwalk going here. Not bad, not bad. Oh no, yeah, that's a bummer to hear that on the way to the show. I was at home. Apparently, I was the person that Rip Bison heard it from. He and Delmy spent the evening mourning because you know that's they're a heavy metal household over there at the Bison office. And I mean, Ozzy was important to all of us. You know, I put out a little tweet that I don't think overstated it. That a lot of my understanding of show business can be attributed to Ozzy Osbourne. Um, Watching the Osbournes when I would have been like right at the end of high school, and then going to Ozfest was one of the first concerts that I picked on my own to see System of a Down and Ozzy, and there was someone else really great on that show too. But I always forget the main stage lineup. I did see a yet to be discovered by most people Andrew WK headlining the second stage. Saw him at like 1 in the afternoon when no one knew who he was. The I Get Wet album had not quite dropped yet. It was a week away from being released. Ooh, did not make that turn cleanly at all. That's rough news to wake up from a nap, too. it kind of walked the plank a little. This knucklehead truck has got it going on a bit. Not a bad truck. I do think we're gonna swap. We're gonna pick another truck. I hope people have been thinking, what do we want to see? Should we pick an old school like an 80s truck and see what it does on this course? Oh, it's a two extreme truck. That makes sense. Unfortunately, Big Pete is not in the game yet. They haven't made him yet. He would be one of these. He'd be a leafer truck, an old an old regular truck as opposed to a big fancy tube frame. I can, however, you know what? Let's go into the we'll go into the modern trucks. Let's break out all right, Grizz, thanks. Always appreciate the raid, my friend. Let's go ahead and grab you the Lucas Oil stabilizer, because it is a cool truck, like for sure. I'm still so bummed that I'm not making it to Monster Truck Throwdown on Friday. So close, so close. And just some travel things came up and my flight had to be changed. Yeah, I'm really, really bummed because I was going to be a guest there and it was going to be a really good time. Let's see. So we're looking for a Lucas Oil stabilizer. That'll be under the L's. Okay, L. There we go. There it is. So we got a few variations here. We got the regular one. We got what it looked like at debut. We got it late, which is after it's been beat up on a show, seemingly, where it's missing some parts. Then we got the neon from when they had the Monster Jam All Stars. I'm thinking we go with the sort of standard, how it's meant to be. So this is in many ways the modern day spiritual successor to Big Pete. And let's get it out in the middle here, and we'll give it a quick spin around and get a look. Give everyone, yeah, this is a cool looking truck, and it's one of the things I love about modern day monster trucks was at some point they realized, um, we should really we should be hiring drivers not just because they work in the shop and can fix the truck, because they have whole teams for that. So they've started hiring drivers that come from different motorsports and offer different skills, and drivers that are a little more equipped to like talk on the mic and represent the company. And that's where we get some of the women drivers who have become very prevalent in the last few years. Obviously, there were some pioneers back in the day, Pam Vaughters, Marilyn Chandler. There were a bunch. But one of the ones presently drives this truck is Cynthia Gauthier, who is a French Canadian woman with a very thick French Canadian accent. But she's a hoot. She's great at social media. She's an incredibly talented driver. All right, let's take it down the track one time and see how we get on here. I got to be careful because this is on those BKT tires, so I've got essentially no tread. Oh, and there it is. Yep, went right into the wall. Yes, Greg Holbrook in Equalizer was another great example of that. Or from wrestling, yeah, yeah, Medusa for sure being the example there. Or one delightful afternoon, Perry Von Vicious when I got the chance to drive the identity theft truck at the All Star Monster Truck Tour. That was a pretty good time. If y'all haven't seen that, check it out. It's on an episode of my vlog from last June. And if you find my vlog playlist on my YouTube, it is very easy to track down. That's right, Chad Fortune from the Superman truck was one half of, I always forget the name of the tag team, but his biggest success was WCW, where he was in a tag team. And it was obvious that he was at one point a wrestler, because that dude was huge and jacked, and he could cut a promo. All right, let's go see if we have any better luck with the nose wheelies with a modern truck rocking the BKTs. Yeah, that's the BKT tires that were developed by the folks at BKT. These are the first ever made for monster trucks, monster truck tires. So they're not heavy duty like agriculture tires. So they pop real easy, which is why you see fewer and fewer cars used in monster jam events. Hey, not bad. But they inflate a little bit bigger than a standard monster truck tire, so they look nice, fun, and cartoony. And they're very, very lightweight, which means there's less stress put on everything in the truck. Yeah, pretty good nose wheelies when you have a modern day monster jam truck that's sort of built for that stuff. Little crash in there. That's all right. We're back. We're back. Walked it on the nose. Oh, and lost a tire. Well, donuts till something goes wrong, I guess. It's getting it now. And on the roof. All right, let's bring it on back to the starting line. We'll go find another truck. I think, yeah, it got three left. No worries. I agree. We're gonna go back to the starting line, get all set up, and then we'll swap. And I think we got to go for a stage one, stage two '80s truck or something. See how they get on a an old Sam Boyd World Final style track. All right. Who among us has a favorite old school truck they'd like to see come out? I know there was a few mentioned earlier, but let's see if there's anything we want to see. Someone mentioned King Kong. I know there was some mention of a Bigfoot. All right, Mr. Man, thanks for hanging out, my friend. But if we got a favorite old school one that we want to see come out and have its go at a World Finals track. Let's give it a shot, see what happens. If I don't see any suggestions, I'll just pick one at random. Boy, I'm seeing a lot of old favorites from when I was a kid. Yeah, we got some King Kong threes. I know there's some awesome Kongs in here. Crimson Crusher, Liquidator. Man, I saw Liquidator live a few times when I was young. Master of Disaster. I know Barely Tame is in here. We got the old Micro Machines truck, Twister, Overkill, Predator. But yeah, let's maybe I try to pick one we haven't necessarily had on stream before. Let's see, maybe let's go with Wild Hair. I remember this particular era of Wild Hair. I love and waiting to see them do. I think it's Wild Hair 2 that had the cut off Bronco body. So cool. I spent some time a couple years ago making a pretty good 3D printable model of that, and I was real happy with how it came out. Oh, we're loading. We're loading. Come on. There we go. All right, we'll take it on a quick spin to see how we do on the main track, and then we'll take it and spin it around and get a view. All right, here we go. Oh, oh, nicked the edge. Didn't want that. This is full steam ahead on this truck. Ooh, whoa, that steering is tight. I mean, I like a tight turn, but holy moly. Hey, you know, not bad. It's easy to keep control of it there. Yeah, the Breen Brothers Racing. Boy, really doesn't have the power to get a donut going. In a second, we'll see if we can do a backflip with it. There's no way that we can do a nose wheelie, but we'll try it anyway. All right, let's try for the backflip. Hey, you know, that's about how I would think that would go. I'm into that. That's cool. I think that came out great. Ah, that was awesome. Still running. It's just beat the heck. All right, let's try to get all lined up here. A little bit of a nose wheelie getting on the brakes. All right, let's try it again. Ah, just overdid it. That's gonna happen sometimes. Send it off the middle ramp just because. Hell yeah, let's do it. I think you're onto something there, Cody. Which okay, but hang on, but which direction? Are we going this way? Or do we need to come back the other way? I do love these old trucks and the way they handle on here. You know, when the time comes where I finish off and why not both? Yeah, all right. You know, when you're right, and you're certainly right. When the time comes where I'm all done with wrestling, I've got time to waste on other stuff. I'm 100% gonna get into RC monster trucks, but I've got like virtually no desire to have like fast, like you know, wild models that do crazy tricks. I just want to build like crazy accurate old monster trucks that are just slow that I'll never beat up. They just look pretty and cool. All right, here we go. Here's the big one. Can we get over that middle jump? Oh, hey, you know, not bad though. It looks good up there. I'm gonna have to get a thumbnail image when we're done here, and I think I need to find some kind of like yeah maybe like that Monster Jam All Star logo. If I can manage to find a good pose of like one of the old school trucks like this right in front of that where it's real obvious that it's like a modern day track with this old truck on it. I think that's going to be my thumbnail. Just confuse people. Make them wonder what game is he playing? Ooh, a wild hair was the Galoob truck that you had? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. And we're over. Man, that Galoob series is so sick. You know, really looking back on it, for motorized monster trucks, I do think maybe the Galoob series, those tough trucks, tough tracks, whatever they were called, might be the best series. You know, let's pull another old school truck out here. We've done our damage on that one. Um, but they also that was the same time because Galoob was Micro Machines, where they had the Micro Machines series. And looking back on those with the pullers and the sled, and oh man, the Micro Machines Tough Tracks play set. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the play set for those little Micro Machines, go look it up. This sick little downhill track with little crush cars, so you could actually just race them all. So cool. All right, let's pick a another one to try out here on this. I'm gonna stick with the old school ones for now. I'm having fun beating up these old trucks. We got to find one that we can really send, and I think Bigfoot's gonna be the answer. And I think it's Bigfoot 4 Racer is gonna be the answer, the 1990 version. We're gonna take that for a race, and then we'll. Oh, I have most of it still. Just don't have the downhill part. Really. Um, Adam, with some proper measurements, I know a guy who does 3D printing and design. I might be able to replace your parts for you. We should talk, because, boy, if I could 3D print my own replica of that playset, that would be really cool. I do. I'm trying to see if I have any of my. Have you seen any of my 3D printed monster trucks? I have, right here, I have, this is for a puller, but in the style of the old Matchbox superchargers. This was part of a prototype that I stuck a regular Matchbox car body on, so it was like a funny car. The final result was a lot better, but it's in the other room on a shelf somewhere. Yeah, I have a whole bunch that I've done, replicas of different series. I've been meaning to do a little more design on the channel again soon. So I probably will. I'll probably really what I want to do, because I keep it nearby. I want to make my own replicas of the Bigfoot Champions series, because these were the best. Where the tires came off and you had the travel tires. I'd love to make 3D printed versions of that to make different trucks. That would like a Gravedigger in that style would be so cool. All right. Anyways, enough yakking. Let's get racing. Here we go. Bigfoot 4 takes to the World Finals All-Star track. Oh, he's making good time. Oh, this truck is so good. All right, we got to get on those brakes or we're never making this turn. Oh, the cleanest turn I've made. Swung it a little wide, but pretty forgivable. That might be the best time I had with any of these trucks. I love the tonneau cover on there, a little reflective. Let's see if we can we backflip? Not really. That might have been driver error. Let's try it again. Yeah, the flags really should be there. Uh, 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 uh. Oh, are you kidding me? Come on, we saved it. Let's go. Oh yeah, we got four-wheel steering here. All the trucks got it. Yeah, we tore that tonneau cover up though. Look at that. And it's independent. Look, I can crab walk. Let's see if we can get a nose wheelie going with this old truck. Oh yeah. But no control once it's up. Rough going with Bigfoot 4 here. The pride of Hazelwood, Missouri, now in Pacifica, Missouri. But always billed as St. Louis for some reason. I get it. The kayfabe's important. Technically, if you wanted to name my hometown, it would be Greenfield, Massachusetts, but I'm always announced as Deerfield because that's where I settled down. Even though technically it's South Deerfield, so yeah, I get it. Kayfabe is a tricky mistress. All right, yeah, yeah. World final stunts from Bigfoot 4. So bouncy on those old good years, because this was still pre-Firestone. One of the last Bigfoot trucks to have a front engine. All right, let's bring it on back and we'll swap to another truck. Maybe before we're all done here, maybe before everything's all said and done and we wrap up, maybe we'll take the thumbnail together. That way I've got a cool thumbnail picture of the monster trucks. I want to stick a bunch of old school trucks on a very modern course and see like I mean it's possible that like even in the back here, like in front of that row of Monster Jam signs, we could make it look like a full pit area, but just all old school trucks at the World Finals or something. All right, here we go. He's gonna crank a good number. I just know it. Yeah, this is Bigfoot Racer. This man. Yep, easily the best time I've put down on this track is with this truck. Oh, not quite. Well, we gave it a shot. All right. What other trucks we want to see? I think maybe we jump back to a more modern truck for a bit. Let's see, what do we got in the on the CRC chassis? We haven't run any of those yet. I think it's mostly Avenger in here. Oh, there's Brutus too, and Axe. Okay. Black Panther we got. There's some monster mutts. There's a Megalodon Fire. Cool. Rage. Wrecking Crew. Spike. Like this red hot they got here. Looks a lot like Mayhem. All right, let's wow, there's okay. All right. Yeah, let's gosh, I always play with an Avenger. Let's go with like Monster Mutt or something. I never or Megalodon. Let's go with Megalodon Fire. Too cool looking. See what we can do with that in here. Da, 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 I've had so many different Aussie songs stuck in my head in the last day and a half. Pro Wrestling Grind in a few weeks. Coming up at the end of August, we'll be at the RPM Fest in Montague, Mass, and rocking a show that we weeks before any of this happened with Ozzy, we had decided to name Bark at the Moon, and now it's a tribute show. Oh, look at those zoomies. Man, that is a slick looking truck. Look at that. Why would they ever go back to any other look? That looks great. All right, let's bring it on back and see if we can get lined up and put a pass down. So far, Bigfoot 4 is easily the cleanest pass that I've had on this track. And we're off. Okay, all right. Yeah, you know what? That Kohler chassis, that CRC chassis does pretty good. Hard to complain about that. That went great. It is kind of funny that because this is like the chassis known for the Kohlers, it appears the driver in there is wearing an Avenger jumpsuit. Yeah, that's Jim Kohler in there for sure. That's funny. All right, let's knock out a backflip, see how we get on. Tried to walk the plank, no takers, but a clean backflip, I'll take that. let's see about a nose wheelie here. Oh, almost brought it back the other way too. Take it. Ooh. Yep. All right. Yeah. A few 4-link bars go in there. Let's bring ourselves back up here. I wonder if I can do the backing up nose wheelie. Yeah. I don't know. That one's hard. I don't shift back into forward quickly or easy enough. Yeah. My shifting time is too slow to make that work. All right, let's do the old Mike Vaughters here. A little backwards off of the stuff. Ooh. All right, I think it's time we switch it up. We head to another track. And let's see, we got all the different versions of the All-Star Challenge. We got some old school tracks that have mud bogs and things. And then I do have some like weird stuff. I used to. Yeah, we do have some like weird motorsports playground type stuff. Let's see. We also got the Rallycross Madness track. We got their old Roanoke Civic Center. Oh, we'll have an official timer in a minute. Roanoke Civic Center, you say? All right, yeah, let's do it. It's a cool looking course. It's hard to not love it. All right. And we'll try to run the gambit of all kinds of different trucks here. I am gonna pull on out of the garage in the regular truck because it's an easier fit. Some of the trucks it's really hard to squeeze through. I know that's kind of the point, but come on. Yeah, there we are. All right, let's pick us a vehicle here. I kind of feel like we oughta yeah, we should get kind of a wide swath of vehicles that run in this. Let's maybe we do overkill one time. I haven't really run overkill much, so we might have to go do the controller setup. I'm so bummed that like the first 15 minutes of the stream was just getting the tech to work correctly. I'm gonna have to edit that out on YouTube or else that's gonna kill my view rate. All right, let's get a look and see if we've done any of the correct setup for this. Of course not. We'll do it now. Okay, good. It likes to go a little slow on these bindings, I've noticed, which is fine. It can take its time and think it through. There we go. All right, and back, back. go. All right, let's check our. Oh. I see. Okay, so one rear steer button works, the other one doesn't. All right, give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna finish configuring this because apparently it really didn't like my my ways of doing it here. I see what happened. Perfect. There we go. Great. Okay. Oh, stopwatch is all set. All right, here we go. Let's uh-oh, why am I constantly stuck over that way? There we go. Now we're centered. All right, here we go. Now we can go over and we can try to get lined up here. It's a big truck for this track. But I do recall even in its day, they had to basically pull up and over this to get lined up. Wow, the sway bars on this truck are already shot from knocking into that wall just now. All right, I think we are lined up. Insert 1988 Power Tracks theme. Power Tracks presents the most powerful sport on earth, the Renegades TNT Monster Truck Challenge, with our official timekeeper, Adam NX67. All right, here we go. We're taking the run with overkill. And green light. Oh. Green light. Green light. There we go. Oh God. No, that's not what he wanted at all. But we did get across the finish line. Boy, that truck just took a beating on that run. Oof, Kirk Dabney, not not playing nice. All right, we are gonna swap to another truck now. We need another competitor while we wait for the official time. Despite a crazy run, Overkill clocks in a 4.99. Not bad. All right, let's find our vehicles. And I think we should kick it with some of the old school trucks, some of the trucks we would see on this course. And I do believe Barefoot would have been a common truck on this course. And I would think this 1990 and 1988 Power Tracks is what we're thinking. So let's go with like the 89 Racer probably. I think Barefoot Racer 89. And let's do it with the one with the flags. That feels right. We'll go get lined up here. Awesome, Max 13. Welcome. I know flags on the back of a monster truck are just always a great look. So classic. Let's see, we wanna be nice and in line here. The weird treadless tires, more or less. All right, let's get up on our starting line here. All right, here we go. And green light. We want slowing over that, and then we can. Oh, he is all over the place here. I don't know. I don't know about that run. That's about how this truck moved in real life, though. I will say that. All right, let's. I want to see. While we're waiting on a time, let's see if these more treadless tires can get a donut going. Some of these older trucks really struggle with it. Not really. No donuts there, I'm afraid. Judges are going to review that one. It is possible that he didn't get both tires up over the set of cars, both front tires. Well, while the judges figure it out, let's go ahead and we're going to pull our next competitor. We are going to we got to get one of the Kongs out here. Let's bring out 1988 Awesome Kong 2. A very late era, very beat up Awesome Kong. This was when the Danes weren't running show trucks anymore at all. After review, the officials are stating that he barely hit both front tires, so it is a clean run. Official time of 5.54 for already forgotten what truck that was. Barefoot. Shows you I'm all over the place with projects this week. Took me like 2 seconds to forget what truck I was just playing with. All right, but now we got Awesome Kong. This is definitely a late era version of Awesome Kong when the Danes were no longer running show and shine trucks. They were out for racing. Still has that great big Allison aircraft engine in the rear of the truck. All right, I love the bucket seat in that truck. All right, we are lined up and ready to go. The fans look excited. Look at their blurry. They're so excited. All right, here we go. And green light. That felt like a pretty good run for Awesome Kong. Kings of Crunch need to make Skinny Kong. Hey, I completely agree. That would be a toy of Skinny Kong is on my list. Maybe when I'm making my my replica series. All right, and Awesome Kong with a time of 5.19 seconds. With the officials coming in with our official time there. 5.19. Overkill, the Dabney truck from the early 90s, still in the lead with a 4.99. Not surprising with the horsepower that truck would have pulled down, but it was a sloppy run, so there is room. There is room for another truck to take it. All right, let's go ahead and find. I think we need to bring Carolina Crusher out here. The question is, I want to say this is Carolina Crusher 2 era. Carolina Crusher 1, I think, was earlier. But I think this 88, 89 would have been, yeah, I agree. Carolina Crusher 2 for sure. All right, I'm glad it's not just me. You know, I was pretty little when this was all going on, so it's real easy for me to misremember or get the dates and times wrong. The gentleman racer of monster trucks. Getting his line really dialed in here. You know, these short little straight line courses can be won on that starting line. All right. We are lined up. Engine is fired. And green light. Now that felt like a pretty good run. And and he tips it over at the end. Got on the brakes a little too quickly. Little too quickly. Officials checking to see if both tires hit the cars. From my vantage point, it looked good, but I am a little biased since I was technically driving the truck. All right, but while that's happening, we are going to go back. We're going to stick with one more old school truck, and then we're going to try some more modern trucks on this and see what happens. See how we get on. Let's see, there's Black Stallion, there's Bigfoot, there's the Duraliner Giant, maybe. But you know, this particular venue, there were some kind of famous runs by the Crimson Crusher, and I think we break the Crimson Crusher out here. I love a truck with dualies. Oh, after review, it was a clean run with official time of 4.97 seconds. A new leader from the Carolina Crusher by 2/100ths of a second. Hey, Bobby Gilbert in the house, just in time for some monster trucks. We're rocking some old school trucks here in the Roanoke Civic Center. Kicking it 1988 Renegade TNT Tour style. We do have here the 1988 variant of the Crimson Crusher pulling to the line with those dually tires. He is a heavy truck, a very heavy truck, who until not too long ago, you could see the remnants of this truck in California on display. There was an area that it has since been scrapped, as far as I know. But this truck, there was a version of this truck that was still on display, had 8-foot tall Tundra tires, very similar to the style of the 10-foot tires that you see on Bigfoot 5. All right, but Crimson Crusher lined up a little crooked, not the best start, but this is where we're going to go from. Getting his time trial in here in Roanoke. And green light. Whoa, rocky run for the truck. Had a rough go of it. We're going to see while we wait for our official time from our track folk. Whoa. Okay, it turns out trying to get a donut going in this truck is risky business. All right, while we wait on that official time, we are going to pull up our next competitor here in Roanoke. I think we're going to go ahead and hop to the CRD chassis. We're going to look for let's see, even though he went into the other lane, not a DQ for this event, so the officials consider it a clean run. We'll get that official time in just a moment. Time to beat is a 4.97, and he does it with an official time of 4.79. The times are getting faster. All right, and we are switching over to a modern truck for this round. In fact, Bobby Gilbert's in the chat. Bobby Gilbert, without saying the word Avenger, give me a modern truck that we can go ahead and throw into this competition one time in this old school track. Maybe we'll even get a mega truck on the track in a little bit and see how one of those gets on. It's interesting to try these different eras of truck on different eras of track. Seeing how they behave. Okay, Adam NX67 says old school Blue Thunder. And I'm inclined to agree for now. We'll wait and we'll see if Bobby comes back with any recommendations. No, wait, are you talking old school Blue Thunder, like the original, it wasn't Kirk Dabney in the original Blue Thunder, was it? The 2010 Blue Thunder. Okay, so you're talking this old school Blue Thunder, as opposed to, okay, Bobby says old school Gravedigger. We're going to break out old school Gravedigger next. We'll do Blue Thunder first, and then we'll kick it with old school Gravedigger. All right. Got those flags. We love flags on a monster truck. See, Adam NX67 is asking Grandma Digger or Gravedigger 2. So, unfortunately, I believe that I think I do have I might have Gravedigger too. But for Grandma Digger, I only have the modern tube frame truck that has the shell, like what just ran at World Finals. Kristen Anderson drove. All right, we are lined up. We are ready to go. Blue Thunder in Roanoke, Virginia, at the Civic Center, and green light. Okay, that has to be our top time so far. I'm starting to learn this track. Let's see if we can manage a donut here. There's not a lot of space to work with while we wait for that official time. Ooh, 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 Not what we were after. Pretty good run by Blue Thunder. The officials looking at the time, and it is 4.20 seconds. That is that is officially our fastest time by a fair margin, by almost a full half, more than a full half second. All right, let's bring up our next. We're looking at Gravedigger 2 was what was mentioned. Let's see. I don't know that I have Gravedigger 2, but I know that I know I have Gravedigger 3. So we might have to settle for 3. I believe everything else, yeah, I don't have anything older than that. So I think we're going to have to settle for Gravedigger 3. Gravedigger 3 still would have been early 90s. So not terribly far off from the era that we're sort of emulating here in this 88, 89-ish series. So we're going to go with Gravedigger 3. 91. See, I knew it. I'm getting pretty good at it's an interesting thing. I went from probably the ninth grade till sometime in mid college without really thinking about monster trucks very much at all. I just fallen off the old radar for some reason. Yeah, this was the one that he slammed into the wall at Louisville. Yes. I went that whole period without really even thinking about monster trucks. And then I had a brief period where I was very interested again, probably right around like 2004, 2005. And then I fell off again. And it really wasn't until like 2018 on a road trip with Rip Bison. We were wrestling in Chicago, and we had to. Oh! I didn't want that. Okay, well, we started over here. We got to pull up again. Boy, this truck is finicky. It really wasn't until a road trip with Rip Bison wrestling in Chicago where we decided on the trek back home that we would take a little detour through Indiana to go to the Monster Truck Hall of Fame and Museum because I had read about it online. And that trip, and then the world shutting down, sort of spawned me into the idea for the human monster truck persona, which brought me around to all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I know there's a way to turn the headlights on, and I don't know what button it is, and I'm just gonna end up breaking something if I hit too many buttons. I'll figure it out for another stream. We'll do a stream where we've really where we're gonna be like doing pull sleds and all that stuff. I have downloaded some tractor pullers, so I think we could definitely do some tractor pulling. I just got to get a little more proficient at resetting the vehicles. Otherwise, we're gonna be wasting a lot of time while I fiddle with stuff. So I'll do some off stream prep work for one of those. All right, so we have Gravedigger 3 lined up at the starting line. We are ready to go here in Roanoke, Virginia. And green light. No, yeah, engines starting. Engines on. All right. And green light. That's about how I imagined that would go for Dennis. If you didn't leave it on the roof, is it really a Gravedigger run? Love the tread on those tires where they had to shave them down and cut them themselves. That is so indicative of a particular era. Let's see. I doubt we can get a donut going with this truck. Yeah, he's got way too much grip with those cut up tires. Also, his ignition turns off at like nothing. And with all the chaos, the official time a new leader. Gravedigger 3 coming in with 4.12 seconds. An incredible run for the crew out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. All right. Let's see. Who else we want to see? We want to see let's see. Let's throw a Samson in there. I haven't run Samson in a really long time. That classic Gravedigger TNT theme. That's right. You sent me that so I could hear it again. Man, that took me back. I have at this point like really grown to feel like Bad to the Bone and like Hell's Bells really are the ones that make me think of Gravedigger now. All right, we got Samson fired up. We're gonna bring him up, line him up, and give him a fair shake here. Oh, I do not have the steering paired. So we once again have to go into our options and pair up our controls. Now, people who haven't done this before are learning a lot. They're getting to see how this is done. All right, fly. That's right. The American Gladiator Samson, such a cool look. Very truck and tractor power Penda Points series. I do think at some point we're gonna do some watch alongs of some old school monster truck races. Like I'm literally just gonna pull them up on YouTube and we're gonna put the audio way down low on the off chance there's any copyright issues. And then we'll just we'll just see how we get on. Okay, come on. Yeah, but fair enough, Adam. I'm stuck at the moment myself. Well, we're stuck for the moment. Hit that free roam button, see if that takes me anywhere. Nothing. You know, you set up a few controls and everything freezes up. I do not want to have to relaunch this game again. Beam used to be so much better than this. In the last few months it started running real chunky. Okay, I think you're back just in time that I'm relaunching Beam again. Because Beam has been a finicky little brat this whole stream, let me tell you. Oh, you have a whole channel for your Fire Pro eFed? That's awesome. All right, let's hop in the free roam. Let's get back to Roanoke. We'll spawn in the left lane, and then we will go ahead and we will then we'll go ahead and we'll throw in our one of our trucks and see. We're gonna bail on Samson because it didn't seem to want to play nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's always fatal errors. This game's so tough. All right, vehicles. You know, I think we got to get a little weird here. Let's get a little weird. Let's throw a mega truck in and see what happens. I know we got the bog hog in here somewhere. There we go. Let's yeah, let's bog hog it here. See what happens. Let's just get weird, you know? Oh, that does look weird. All right. We're in, we're fired up. And green light. Ooh, a solid, clean little run. These things are easy to control. I know they don't like to get donuts going really because the tread is so thick. All right. While we wait for an official time on Bog Hog, we're gonna see about some more vehicles. And again, we might just get weird. We might do something really strange, like maybe we come in with like one of these like rock bouncers or one of these things or a Model T. Whoa, whoa, Bog Hog with a crazy run, 3.59. 5 million. That is unreal. Bobby says, I'm thinking about getting a new jobber. Wait, a new jobber or a new job? Shame the tanks aren't in this game. Yo, seriously, I know that I believe that you can have military tanks in this game, but no one's yet to design monster tanks. And I should really talk to the wonderful folks over at let's throw this guy in here. The wonderful folks over at it's beam-motorsports.com that make all the old school ones. I bet they'd be into it. Yeah, Virginia Beach Beast, Car Killer, Fast Tracks, Orange Blossom Special. There were some great ones, man. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so we're gonna bring this guy. Oh, careful. We're gonna bring this guy up and get him lined up at the starting line if I can even get him there. He's hard to drive. Yeah, this thing is basically just a tank with no tread. Just bouncy little wheels instead. High clutch temperature. Okay. Well, that's a weird warning, but all right. Okay, we are lined up with this CTV whatever the heck it is. The eight wheels, six wheels, whatever it is. This thing's not going to put down a great time. The Caterpillar. It's not going to put down a great time, but let's give it a shot anyway. And green light. That was full speed over that hill. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, whoa. Oh, and he gets a DNF. Did not finish. Womp womp. Well, let's at the very least get him out of the way so that the next one can have a clean run. DNF indeed. Can't really do donuts. Let's see if we can take it up the back end of the cars for a wheelie. Yeah, he can't really get across those cars, I guess. All right, we're gonna switch out. As long as we're doing weird vehicles, let's get crazy. Let's bring in one of these guys. Ooh, whoa! I didn't realize we had like some hot rodded versions here. All right. Suck it, ad jail. All right, what are we thinking, guys? I know some of you are in ad jail and you'll be back in a sec. What do we think? Are we which of these ones? Which one do we like best? Oh, the anthill mob, yeah. What do we think? Which one of these do we like best? There's some good options here. I kind of think kind of leaning toward either one of the one of the trucks, like the long bed pickup, or maybe like the lake bed jalopy, or maybe the good noodle. Okay, all right. I see one for the good noodle. We'll noodle around a bit. Bobby, you did not miss anything. We were just looking at some of these bizarre vehicles. We're trying some weird stuff on the old Roanoke, Virginia Civic Center track before we get back to some classic monsters. All right, all right, all right. There he is. Whoa. Okay, that thing's got some get up and go, man. I just tapped the gas and that thing leaped. But it's meant for off-road and it's got a very low front end, so its ability to get up and over cars might not be that great. I do think this would be a fun one on one of the tracks with a mud bog. Oh, it's a gasser, all right. All right, we're almost lined up the way we want. All right, that's the lineup we want. Let's see. Any other jobbers I should get for my figure promotion? Boy, that's a tough one. Geez, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that because you do figures that are not even wrestling figures. You could have like figures from other stuff. So there might be some good answers there. Like we might think of like some cartoon character figures that we think of as jobbers from their respective cartoons. All right, we are lined up with our gasser, with the noodler, whatever his name was, the Mad Noodle Man, and we are ready to go here in Roanoke, Virginia. And green light. Whoa, whoa! That was both tires up the front. Holy crap! That was crazy. We got one of the mirrors coming off there. All right, I'll be very interested to hear our official time while I spin some of the easiest donuts I've ever imagined. We'll see if we can wheelie it up this back end here. It wouldn't, okay, not the fastest time. The good noodle. The good noodle comes in with a 4.85. Does not even crack the top four spots. He is in fifth place thus far. See, I want to get a Matt Riddle figure and rebrand him as the Sweaty Sandwich. Sweaty Sandwich, huh? That's an interesting name. Should we do another weird one before we jump back to the monster trucks? We got a lot of strange options here. We could do one of these things. We could try a big rig, see what it does. A regular pickup. Do like a Subaru, something Subaru-esque. Dump truck. I know. Bobby, I looked up. I knew it as soon as I said it. I knew you were going to say bale of hay. It's called a gasser because it's class in drag racing that the suspension on the front were locked like, oh, okay. Let's see. Let's try a rock basher, I think, right? Ibishu pigeon. Oh, that's our guy way, where is he? I know the pigeon. I've used him on here before. Where's the pigeon? There he is. I also like the widgeon. That's pretty cool. I would get one of those in real life. Yeah, Hero Robotic definitely started the bale of hay. He's a bad influence. Let's see. Let's see. The pigeon or the widgeon? What do you guys think? I think maybe the pigeon. It's more trucky. Oh man, there's variations. Okay, we got the Gambler 500 with a porta potty on the back. We got the three wheels. We got the four wheels. We got a four wheel with a covered back. We got the race one that looks a little like Carolina Crusher. You're robotic, and I regret nothing. No, it was good. It's a good meme. Good meme. Pretty good. What do we think, guys? I see Adam and X67 calling for the porta potty. Yeah, all right. It's fine. It's fine. We'll race the porta potty. We'll see what it does. I think next time we break out Beam, we're gonna go to the Louisville Circle. Oh, there it is. There's the porta potty part. Next time we break out BeamNG, we're gonna go straight to Louisville, the figure eight. And we're gonna do all the weirdest vehicles we can find. Maybe I'll download some more mods that are really weird. Bathroom car. In wrestler speak, we would say this car is the shits. All right, I think we're pretty well lined up here. Hard to say. All I can see is porta potty. All right, here we go. And green light. Little trouble up and over that first hill. Not a lot of get up and go on this thing. Can it? Oh, and a DNF for the porta potty. That's rough. But the fans love it. All right, let's see. Do we think we can get a donut going with this thing? That run took a dump. Wow, this thing does not have a tight turning radius when you have the acceleration going. No acceleration, real tight. Acceleration, wide. All right. I'm having fun with the weird vehicle choices for a monster truck race. So I think we should definitely do at least one more like strange one. And I'm kind of thinking we should do a rock basher. I mean, or we could race the bale of hay or a wood crate maybe. Large hamster wheel. That's good. Okay. Or we could race the bathtub. I think we go with the rock basher. It is possible the rock basher could get a real good time. Which one do we like? The crawler, the bouncer, or the racer? I mean, obviously we know like the racer's probably the one most prone to get a good time. Large tire, population tire. I know the references. I know me some Homestar Runner. I think we go with the racer. Just seems like an obvious pick. I'm sure this thing has four-wheel steering as well since it's meant to be a climber, but I'm not going to bother configuring and end up having to relaunch the game again. That new Bull Nakano figure coming from, I think it's Grapplers and Gimmicks maybe, looks sick. Like, I want that, and I want to put it with the retro Mattel Alundra Blaze that's supposed to look like the old Hasbro's. And one day I'll do that. All right, we're lined up with the Rock Basher. We got the judges ready, the clock's set here in Roanoke, Virginia, and green light. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a good time. get the donut going? Just barely. The concrete's helping. Concrete. Concrete. Buck Blaster with a great run, a time of 3.64, which does not take the fast time. 3.64 is not fast enough with Bog Hog still holding a 3.59. Let's see. I feel like there's got to be a monster truck that can take the win. And I think it's going to end up being like a modern monster truck for sure. So let's get into the CRDs and let's see who we got. Let's see. We got some modern Bigfoot trucks. Got Tailgater, which I've never broken out Tailgater or Toxic on the stream, I don't think. Tailgater's one I would love to see in person. That guy drives like a maniac. Oh, that's right. Junk Shop Dog has a Sofubi one. Oh, the modern no problem. Yeah, yeah. Let's break out the old no problem. Why not? That's a good pick. I didn't even think to try that one. That one sort of checks two boxes at once because it feels like it should be here, but it's also modern, so it doesn't fit here. I like that. There we go. We got 92 or 93. I don't think it much makes a huge difference, so we're going to go with 92. Keeping it closer to the correct era. It's a great truck with a great history. John Moore's no problem. Pulling down the way here, getting ready to line up. All right, well lined up, ready to go. And green light. Ah, kicked it off. Got the slow start and then kicked it off the back. I think that was not going to be a great time. A little stumble start there. Yeah, the Aja Kong from Junk Shop Dog is really good too. All right, well, the judges get the official time for no problem. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our next competitor. We're going to stick with the CRD chassis. That's where pretty much everybody is these days. Oh, John Moore, even with that little trouble, with a decent time of 4.20. Puts him tied with Blue Thunder. Speaking of Blue Thunder, Jay Freddy been on a tear on his shows lately, just ripping it up. A grind favorite, one of the original Pro Wrestling Grind champion, the very first, the inaugural champion. All right, let's find us a modern truck. Let's get way deep in the roster here. Let's go way down there. Let's see, we got some dirt crews. We got some El Toro Locos. We got Excalibur in a modern version. A different version of Extreme Overkill. A million Gravediggers. Let's see, what about... Let's see, I also want to get the Mariah May figure that was just announced. Yeah, this is boy, this is like Christmas weekend for figure collectors because this is when everything gets announced out at Comic-Con. I know my buddy Troy Nelson, my buddy Mark Sterling, they're both watching like hawks to see what's coming. So it's an exciting time for them. Hey, you know what? In loving memory of Ozzy, let's break out Crazy Train. See what kind of time we put down. Ha ha ha. Dum 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 dum. I. All right. I did get to see Crazy Train live just a few days ago because it is in Puddle's Pity Party's live set. He had a version he was doing that was very funny, very silly, with a very silly little video to go with it, and an audience member participating, playing a cardboard guitar, pretending to play along with the song. And when Ozzy passed that morning, Puddles recorded a new version of his cover that was very somber on the piano. And that night on stage, he played the new version on the spot. That quick a turnaround. You know, Ozzy passed about 1 in the afternoon our time, and it was on this coast where Puddles was playing. And by nighttime, he had the new version ready to go, and had a great picture of young Ozzy on stage. A very cool tribute from the sad clown. All right, hang on. I need to fix my camera view. I don't want this view. I do not want. All right, well, I guess we're going to stay that close for now. All right, we are ready to go. Vehicle camera orbit. Well, we'll see about that. All right, we're ready to go and green light. Whoa, huge launch off the line. Not going to be great for his time, I don't think. But we'll see. We'll see. Crazy Train coming out strong here. Really just sent it. Let's see, what time are we at? We got a few minutes left. I think we're going to call that the last run with the 3.92. Wow, got him up there in the top five. Bad for young Triton Robbins. Yeah, our winner from the time trials, if we include all the weird vehicles that we had to choose from, our winner was Bog Hog, a mega truck with a second place, a very close second place, going to the that rock bouncer, rock racer thing. If we remove everything but monster trucks, then our winner was Crazy Train. So our monster truck racing winner was Crazy Train, which is a very fitting tribute to Ozzy, I think. All right, but we're gonna pick a different track and just go have a little cruising mayhem fun. Go bust the truck up a little bit for no good reason. Let's uh let's go with one of these big outdoor tracks. We'll go with a Monster Truck Throwdown, the show that I'm going to be missing on Friday, unfortunately, because of some travel woes on the part of Dr. Redacted. Had to change my flight. Yep, from our track official, Adam NX67. Crazy Train is the official Monster Truck Racing winner. Bog Hog as the overall winner. And a well fought out victory there because it was very close. Very unfortunate I'll be missing Monster Truck Throwdown on Friday, but I will be at We Love Wrestling on Saturday, taking on Kevon Lee in the only non-deathmatch match on the show. All right, and I think we got this new school outdoor track. Yeah, I don't know why Johnny hasn't been streaming. I gotta ask him what's up because I was just on the road with him this weekend, so I don't know why he's off. Brought to you by Biscoff, the only cookie worth your airline enjoyment. I was going to make, as soon as I saw Biscoff, I was going to make the same joke. I was going to go right to it being on the plane. I'll probably have some Biscoff cookies on Saturday, flying into flying into Chicago to meet up with Dr. Redacted. We got a little bit of a road trip to Milwaukee. We'll be checking out some cool stuff in Milwaukee. The bronze statue of the Crusher, bronze statue of the Fawns, And then at like 5:30 a.m. Sunday, my flight takes off back out of Milwaukee. So I'm just getting dropped at the airport right after the show ends, where I will be sitting awake for some 5 to 6 hours just chilling. So I'm gonna bring a book. Oh, you were actually eating some Biscoffs during this. I'm jealous. I love those things. They're really good. They might be my favorite snack that you get on the flights, really. Now I really want a cookie. All right, time to focus up. Let's take Goliath here. Old school two-engine Goliath. We're gonna take that for a spin on a monster truck throwdown course. Now there's a lot of ways into the track, but my favorite is to take the big leap here. Oh, that's right. These trucks have the steering is different from how I normally do it. Okay. Sorry, I'd gotten real comfortable with the steering before. All right, let's see if I can make it. Because these trucks aren't that fast, and there's a little gap. Oof, right into the wall, and over he goes. Well, it's a rough start for Goliath. Let's pull him on into the throwdown course here, and we'll get a little freestyling before we call it a stream. I know I've said it a lot, but I am truly bummed that once again a whole year is going to come and go where I will not make it to Monster Truck Throwdown. I thought I was finally scratching it off. I've wanted to go for a few years. They, to me, seem to be one of the best, one of the most interesting indie promotions for monster truck racing. Bobby Gilbert says Manami Toyota's Twitter is just pictures of food and her cats. That's a lady that knows how to live. All right, let's send it. Whoa! Goliath with a backflip off of the car ramp. Let's see if I can get back down without rolling it. There we go. Let's see if we can take him up and over the bus, huh? Oh yeah. Clean too. Landing was rough. Now I wonder if on the concrete out here if this truck can get donuts going. Nope. Just gonna go right into the wall, I guess. No way I can get a nose wheelie going in this thing. A little bit. Oh, didn't quite save it. All right, let's Vaughters it. I'm not even gonna steer. I'm just gonna put it in reverse and see where we end up. Well, that's a rough day at the office. Shattered the windshield too. Wow. Oh man, yeah. Honestly, with how much we've talked about it, I hope you get to see nightlife in person. That would be awesome. Um, I do think I'm trying to work it out right now, but I do think in early August I'm going to make it to the Bolton Fair here in Massachusetts. It's one of the oldest fairs in New England. They have monster trucks every year, and every year it is the Vaughters Motorsports crew that come. And I was supposed to go last year. They only had one show last year, and the day of their show, the entire fair was canceled because of thunderstorms. This year, they're there every day, all 3 days of the fair, and I only have one day I can make it because I have wrestling bookings. So I gotta hope for good weather. I gotta hope I can make it there. Oh, little slap wheelie from the old school truck. Oh, riding the slap wheelies. Okay. All right, we're seeing that this old steel still has some tricks up its sleeve. I think we got one last way up over the buses we haven't tried. Let's give this a shot. You know what? Honestly, pretty clean. Let's pull one last truck before we call it a stream. We had a rough start to the beginning of the stream, so we'll make up for it here on the back end. I think we go a newer truck. Definitely something in the CRDs. Let's see. Any last minute requests for trucks we should get in at the end here? I may just pick at random, but I always like to put it out there in case there's anything we really want to see that we haven't seen yet. Pull out Predator. I don't know if we've ever had the newer version of Predator. Don't know if we've played that one on stream before. There's some hard choices. We got Tony Swamp Thing. If you guys don't follow Tony Swamp Thing on YouTube, one of the best monster truck YouTube channels. Really fun. They've been rebuilding and restoring an old monster tank for a few weeks, and that's been awesome to watch. Oh, we can break out the UFO truck. Love the UFO truck. Wild hair. We could throw wild hair in there. Yeah, I think we're gonna go UFO. Why not? It's a classic, but clearly done up in a very modern style here. And this will be the last one we tool around in here. We'll do a little freestyle, and then we'll call it a stream. It's been cool hanging out with everyone. I've had a good time, and it's making up for my sadness about suddenly having to miss Monster Truck Throwdown. And back on the tires. No need to reset. We're in good shape here. Are you booing my missing Monster Truck Throwdown, Bobby? Because I tell you, I agree. Saved it. Uh, 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 uh. Wow, saving it in multiple directions here. Yeah, I completely agree, but the redacted mobile has to go into the shop for a day, and Friday was the only day they could do it, which meant we would have no car to get from Chicago to Grayslake, Illinois, which was not going to work. Ooh, okay. Chassis on that's a little bit low for this. Let's refresh and see what happens. Yeah, wow. Chassis too low for this obstacle. So we may have to give it a little more oomph. There we go. That did it. Let's send it one time. Well, that didn't go quite the way we might have wanted. See if we can get a donut going here. Yeah, this sort of mix of concrete and dirt. Nice and slippery. But as annoying as it is to miss Monster Truck Throwdown, I am getting to see Dr. Redacted and his fiance. Love those two. It'd be great to spend some time with them. I am going to get to go wrestle in Milwaukee for the first time, in Wisconsin for the first time. At We Love Wrestling. That'll be something else. And I get to watch my first deathmatch show. I've never been to an all deathmatch wrestling show. And Dr. Redacted in the main event on that show, and a Barbed wire cage match. That's going to be something else. Oof, right into the pole. That's not what I wanted. All right, we're going to take it out on the dirt here. Take a loop on the old dirt track. See how we get on. Missed the obstacle. That's okay. You know, I'm actually not bad at the old dirt track on here. I say that right as I go right into the wall. Earned every bit of that crash. Woo. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a little more dirt track racing. I like that. Maybe we'll hit some of the obstacles this time. Oh, that sent a 4-link bar flying. Couple of them. Oh, it was a tie rod on the front end. Got no front end steering anymore. Uh-oh. I don't want to be out here. Can I go through this fence? Oh, good. Alright, we just got to figure out how to get back in. Can't be that hard. Got in there once. Uh-oh, uh-oh, I'm falling off the world. You know what? I'm going to pull us into the woods here. And we are going to call that beautiful scene there a stream. We're gonna pause it right there, call that a stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I will be back again next week. I'm probably not streaming tomorrow. And then I'm traveling for the shows for the weekend. But I will be back next week streaming, getting ready for a trek up to Canada next weekend. But this weekend I will be in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, wrestling against Kevon Lee at We Love Wrestling, a date with death. Should be a great time hanging out with Dr. Redacted and making a bunch of new friends, I'm sure. So be sure to keep your eyes on the vlog on the YouTube so you can catch everything there. Until next time, thanks for hanging out, everybody. It was a blast. Thanks to AdamNX67 for being our timekeeper. And yeah, I will see you all again next Monday, 9 p.m. See you, everybody.